look like in your eyes that you're not as far along as other authors that you see, or, you know, your platform isn't as big as other people, you're just going to have to, like, you know, shake that stuff off and realize that, you know, you wrote something dope and you didn't write it just to sit on the shelf. So you have to be the one to market it, because nobody's going to promote it, market it, and love it the way you did, because, I mean, it's your baby, right? Hey guys, this is Simone, author S.D. Johnson, and I just wanted to take you guys through the Falling Scion journey. I know that the books have been out for a while, but that's okay. Today, we're going to talk about how I came up with that idea and just the journey that it took to go ahead and publish. So stay tuned. All right. So for those of you who follow me and who know, back in, I believe, hold on, let me check real quick. Let me see. Back in 2017, actually, I wrote the Falling Scion series as one book. And then it was entitled The Scion's Descent, Rising Scion. And what I wanted to do was put out a dystopian story that depicted Black characters in a post-apocalyptic world, very speculative fiction, very dystopian. And so that's what I came up with, right? And it was all one novel, but I wasn't pleased with the formatting, and I wanted to flesh out the series a little bit more. After signing up for some of the pitch wars, I actually found out that a lot of them wanted manuscripts that were not published already. And because of the word count, I was also advised to maybe break the story up. So that's what I did. I took it off of Amazon KDP, and then I went through the process of actually fleshing out the story a lot more and giving more detail, more dialogue, and really taking my time. And so I ended up with 3 books. Now, the first book in this series is The Scion's Descent, right? So this is where we meet Yoli. She is the scion of the Shore delegation. So after this big nuclear blast that kind of wipes out the Americas as well as the world, people begin to, the survivors, I should say, they begin to rebuild society, right? And so these different delegations are formed, and then this young girl is a part of the Shore delegation, and she finds out that, like, basically her whole bloodline is a lie. Her daddy been lying. She had a whole sister that she wasn't even aware of that was alive. Her mama's dead. It is just like this huge circus, right? And she finds all this out because she gets kidnapped by a post trader. And like, the post traders are like the dudes who kind of have like immunity to run in between the different delegations, right? So this post trader, he kidnaps her. Matter of fact, what you guys should do is log on to my YouTube channel, because we did book clubbing on all 3 books. So before I just spill the beans on everything, go check that out. So go log on to my YouTube channel. I'll put the link down below. And then you guys can go and check out book clubbing 1, 2, and 3, where we discuss all 3 books of the Falling Scion series. So there's that, right? So we get introduced to Yoli and all the main players in book 1. Okay, so in the second part of Yoli's journey, this one was called Confessions of the Elect. And this book was a little bit thicker, more fleshed out than the other 2 books, because I realized as I was expanding the story, like, so many other plot twists I just wanted to involve. So you'll get some of that. This is where Yoli's bloodline, you begin to see like all the lies and snares and different things coming into fruition with this book. I think out of all 3, I keep saying it, I keep going in between the second and the third book for which one is my favorite, but there were some scenes in this book that I really love to write, some emotional stuff, some action. But Confessions of the Elect, shout out to the T, That one was, yeah, I don't know if it's my favorite or not. Because there's just some moments in here to where you're like, what? At least that's what I've heard from the people who read it. Anyway, so that is book number 2. Don't judge me. Forgot to put my earpiece in. Anyway, so book number 3, this is where the entire series just kind of comes to a head. This one is actually called Carnage for Truth, right? So this is the book, let's see. Actually, I don't know. I still think book number 2 is a little bit bigger. But in book number 3, Carnage for Truth, this is where Yoli's story, basically, I won't say it ends, but just her part of it. This is the end of the series. You get introduced to some new characters. There's new drama. A lot of the lies and a lot of the information that came out in book 2, you'll kind of see how it begins to manifest for Yoli, and how a lot of the trauma, even from the first book, really plays heavily in her decision making for book 3. When we did the book clubbing, my group, love them, shout out to Chevis, Annabelle, and Ed. They brought up certain things that as I was writing it, I really didn't say, okay, I'm purposely going to write about breaking generational curses. I'm, purposely writing about how to deal with trauma. But through the book clubbing, like, those were some of the elements that they brought up. So I thought that was pretty dope just to hear their insight. So those are the 3 books. In just my writing process, I remember we have 3 awesome kids, and the twins were fairly young. I think they were about, I don't know, maybe 4 at that time, 2007. Don't ask me to do math. I'm not going to do it. Anyway, they're really young. And it was over the course of a summer. I was just working from home and just watching the twins writing, working, watching the twins writing, working. And that's all I did that whole summer. And then that's where the first edition came out. And so I, went through that, did some editing. I even had an artist friend of ours do some renderings of what he thought the characters would look like. So I added those into the book. They're in here somewhere. But I actually took it down from Amazon because, don't worry about it, but they're in here. I actually took it down from Amazon because, like I said before, the whole Pitch Wars thing and just kind of learning more about how to really expand the story. So that's what I did. And I've had some success with it. And you have to applaud yourself for like those small beginnings and those small wins, because they mean a lot. And it may look like in your eyes that you're not as far along as other authors that you see, or, your platform isn't as big as other people. You're just going to have to shake that stuff off and realize that, you wrote something dope. And you didn't write it just to sit on the shelf. So you have to be the one to market it, because nobody's going to promote it, market it, and love it the way you did, because, it's your baby, right? So I started putting stuff out there, started with a promo, and it led to some book sales. I did some giveaways. I used some of the back end on KDP marketing, and I did a promo like around my birthday in February. And I just gave away the entire set of books, not like physical copies, because your girl ain't rich like that. But I gave away some ebooks of all 3 books and for free. So they had it for like a week, I think it was. And I ended up downloading a lot, more than I was, thought I was going to get, because I don't think people pay attention to me, but who cares? You know what I'm saying? People actually downloaded it. And that led to, I did an IG Live interview with a friend of mine. I had an opportunity to be on a podcast, and then just some other promotional opportunities with pretty hot books. I have one coming up within the next couple weeks or so with Sister Girl Book Club, and just some other things that are coming in the future. So just the overall message here, yes, I'm telling you guys about the synopsis of the Falling Scion series and a little bit about the process that I took to write it. But mainly, I just want to share the message, don't be afraid to share your work with the world. Your work is not going to be for everybody. And that's okay. I have people who like, I'm not going to read speculative fiction. I don't care about the book you wrote. So what? That's fine. But there is an audience that's out there for you. And so don't be afraid to get out there, do your thing, be authentically you, put your stuff out there, and the right people are going to gravitate to the message that you're trying to send. The right people are going to love your story. They're going to fall in love with your characters, and they're going to want more for you. So if you truly want to build everything out and flesh everything out, constantly keep writing, putting your ideas on paper or in the laptop, and work on it every day. Even if it's just for like a few minutes, make sure that you're working on your writing goals. And then you'll begin to see the fruit of it, as time goes by. But the seeds you sow now in your writing career, they're definitely going to come to fruition later in the right time. You just have to make sure that you're putting forth the effort. I still have a long way to go. I definitely still have a lot to learn. I am not the most extroverted person. I'm more introverted. So like being in front of the camera, taking pictures and promoting my work is mad irritating because I don't like to do it. But I realize that you definitely have to do it. And so I'm on this journey with you. I don't know everything, but I'll definitely tell you, what I know, which is not a lot compared to other people, but it's part of the journey, the learning part. And so celebrate your small wins. This was the synopsis very quickly of the Falling Scion series. And I hope you guys get a chance to read it. Tell me what you guys think. I know I gave you very, very small, insight on what it actually is about. But if you really want to know what the series is about, go to the website, and that way you'll see all 3 episodes of Book Clubbing. That's where we discuss The Scion's Descent, Confessions of the Elect, and Carnage for Truth. And we have a new episode coming up soon with a friend of mine talking about her book. So I cannot wait to jump into that. It's going to be pretty dope. So anyway, you guys take care. I'm going to go and find something to eat and probably write something. So love you guys. Take care and bless.